Oh, my soul is satisfied in you. There's not a single battle I can lose. You're breaking every chain. Now I can finally say, oh, my soul is satisfied. In the wreckage of my loneliest places, you're calling me and promising that regardless of my situation, you'll never leave. It gives me peace. Some keep searching forever, but I know there's nothing better. 'Cause I am blessed beyond measure, even when it's hard to see. Oh, my soul is satisfied in you. There's not a single battle I can lose. You're breaking every chain. Now I can finally say, oh, my soul is satisfied. Oh, my soul is satisfied in you. You took my broken heart and made it new. You're breaking every chain. Now I can finally say, oh, my soul is satisfied. When I'm with you, there's not a moment that's wasted. You take my heart with all its scars. When I get lost and I can't find my way, there you are with open arms. I believe that you're working everything for my good. Oh, my soul is satisfied in you. There's not a single battle I can lose. You're breaking every chain. Now I can finally say, oh, my soul is satisfied. Oh, my soul is satisfied in you. You took my broken heart and made it new. You're breaking every chain. Now I can finally say, oh, my soul is satisfied. Some keep searching forever, but I know there's nothing better. 'Cause I am blessed beyond measure, even when it's hard to see. Even when it's hard to see. Oh, my soul is satisfied in you. Oh, my soul is satisfied. Oh, my soul is satisfied in.
Yo, what's up, gang? What is up? How's it going? I'm gonna just see real quick if I can add the the live chat to the video. It'll take me 5 seconds. Sorry about that. So okay, here was the issue. So I scheduled the live stream on my phone, and I didn't realize you can't do that. You actually have to basically schedule it on the computer, which is goofy. I did not know that that was a thing. So it's all good though. We're all chilling. Getting it solved right now. So let me just see if I can load this live chat on our video here so you guys can appear. I can see the live chat. I just need to have it on my computer and stuff like that. Excuse me. So let's see here. Oh man, I don't know if I can. That's all right. I'll just delete it for now. That's fine. I'll just hide it for now. That's okay. That's okay. You guys can see more of my face. Yeah, that's a good suggestion in chat. Let's just pray for Nick real quick, and then what we're all gonna do is, oh, and thank you guys about the haircut. Yeah, I got it today. I got all lined up and everything. So that feels great. But real quick, we're gonna just pray for Nick. So in the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit, amen. Lord, who is gracious and good and mighty, Lord, who is worthy of all praise and glory, Lord, my God, my Savior, my Redeemer, I just ask humbly that you bless Nick, that you keep him always in your sacred heart, that you're always with him, and that you guide him closer to your divine life and to divinization with you in heaven, that this unity may never be broken by sin, and that you may overcome every barrier between you and him, and bless us all, and bless your son, Nick Fuentes. And Mary, I just ask that you pray for Nick to just love you more and love Jesus more and be guided more by your prayer. And I pray this all in your son's name, my sweet Mary. Amen. In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. So let's see here. Someone's talking about raiding. I don't know about that. That doesn't sound too cool. But anyhow, guys, it's gonna be awesome. I'm gonna start the live stream on Telegram so y'all can call in. And I'm posting the Telegram link in the chat. It is t.me/the narrow way, but let me post it in chat just so you got it and you can call in. And I just started it on the my Telegram. So if you guys haven't yet, please join, and we can get that all straightened out. And I will make sure that screen cap is on. Let's go. Oops. Looks like someone there we go. Chat's up. Awesome. Oh, and because chat's up, I can actually pop it out and load it on the video now. That's awesome. Okay, so I can kill two birds with one stone. We're so back. We're so back, gang. We're booling. We're back. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, yeah, guys, join the Telegram link I posted in chat. T.me/the narrow way if you want to call in. And please, if you want to support the show, feel free to donate. I don't want to shill too much. Don't donate if you don't want to. But you know, any donation that you do, I helps me a lot. You know, helps me buy new books and stuff like that to read and that sort of thing. So, you know, that's just the Power Chat link in the Cash App if you're willing to, but you don't have to. Okay, and then I think we are set. So let's see here. Okay, we got our Telegram chat up. So if you guys want to talk on Telegram, please raise your hand. That way so I can see you and I can know that you would like to speak, and I will call on you. So bro, I can't make the live chat any larger. It's gonna block me out. I hate to say it, but let's see here. Okay, so Captain Yee Cigar wants to speak. What's up, buddy? You're unmuted. You're unmuted, Captain Cigar. You just click your thing and you should be good, big dog.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going good, man. How's it going with you?
You're muted on Telegram.
Oh, my bad. How's it going with you, G?
Pretty good, pretty good. Just hanging out. Busy weekend. Got a not too busy week ahead.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
What do you got planned for this weekend?
This weekend, not a whole lot, just work and schoolwork. But yeah. Ooh, got first Groiper wants to talk too. I've never talked to this guy outside of like text chats.
Yeah, he's awesome, man. Awesome. But yeah, dude, it's great talking to you. Did you have a question or did you just want to say hi?
Oh, I kind of just wanted, I just wanted to say hi, Pop.
Oh, based.
I didn't really know what I wanted to say.
No, that's awesome, dude. Well, listen, hey, if you have a question or whatever, feel free to raise your hand again. I'll just mute you for now, but you can totally raise your hand at any time.
Yeah, for sure. Sounds great.
Yeah, dude, it's always a good time talking to you, though.
No, yeah, it's a great time talking to you too, dude. Yeah.
Awesome.
I just don't know what to talk about right now. I'm kind of just
no,
blank.
No, dude, it's good. I'm blanking myself, so yeah, but if you feel something come on, just raise your hand again.
All right. Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Godfirst Groiper, you were unmuted, dude. What's up?
Yo, what's up? Can you hear me?
I can hear you, bro.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much here. How are you today?
I'm good, man. I got out of class. I'm pretty zoinked. I've been like grinding the past few days on homework.
Let's go.
So, you know, it's always awesome when that happens. It's always a good time. But, you know, just grinding, hitting the books, making sure I'm doing good in school.
Yeah, me too. I just want to really pop in and say hi. I might pop in later, but I gotta go. So if I don't see you again, good night, and God bless.
Good night, brother. God bless you. And thanks for popping in, bro.
Yeah, no problem.
Awesome. Yeah, GVG is awesome. I love that dude. Lord Charles Otto. Okay, you're unmuted, bro. What's up, man?
Yo, finds up my Anglo brother from across the small pond.
Yo, what's
This
up,
is my,
dude?
yeah, this is my first time speaking in like in this specific. I've appeared on like your streams with Spexo a couple of times in the past, but this is my first time. I suppose one on one, so it's a great honor to be present for this. But I uh I know it's been like a week at this stage, but I hope your Lent was very fruitful, my friend.
Yeah, I took a lot away from it. I mean, you know, there was a lot that could have been improved, I would say, and there's a lot that I could do better in the future. But I definitely took a lot from it. I'd say the biggest thing is I'm starting to finally feel more at peace with our Lord. I don't feel like as like stressed out and stuff like that. And I mean, just reading like just praying a little bit more and reading that Father Jacques Philippe book really helped a lot. And just realizing that like, you know, I don't have to be as hard on myself when I like fall or something like that. And as long as I remain in the peace of God, like He's gonna redeem me and stuff like that. And that was powerful. I think that's one of the most powerful things I've ever heard before.
Yeah, I do think I do think having that assurance, God is good, God is forgiving, God is overall is sort of the biggest thing you need to remember, which is that I think Satan, when you've said this yourself before, when you slip up, he wants you to kind of throw in the towel and say, I can't do this anymore. I might as well, you know, stew in my own juices, so to speak. But that's not what our Lord wants. He wants us to feel encouraged, and I think that was a big part of what Lent for me. I think I was glad when Lent came around because I think the last time I even spoke on one of these streams was sort of like September or something, and I meant to start the confirmation process then. I was gonna do like the normal RCIA thing, but I never got around to it because I it's hard to even explain why this happened, but I just sank into like I felt myself slipping, and then that awareness just caused it to happen more and more. I felt it more difficult to get to mass every Sunday. Not to mention it wasn't a traditional parish, and I didn't know. I didn't really. There were things sort of going on in the mass that I wasn't quite happy with, but I was like, okay, surely it's better than not going to mass. But then there was those doubts nagging at me in my head, and by the time Christmas came around, I felt like I was back at square one. So Lent was a great opportunity to start again. I'm now talking to like a priest in a traditional parish here, and I may finally. He's taken some time off after Easter, but he's gonna finally take me through a confession and all that, and I may by it could be. I suspect it'll be on a feast day of some sorts, Pentecost perhaps, Feast of the Ascension, whatever it might be. But I suspect by that point I will finally be confirmed into the church.
Let's go, dude. Blessed be God. That's awesome, man. Um,
Indeed, I'm very grateful. I'm very glad that it's finally like the ball has finally got rolling because it was something that I knew I wanted to I aim towards for a long time, but I suppose there were a lot of doubts in my head or whether I was ready or whether I could. Like I felt like not having that like sort of nourishment growing up Catholic, I suppose. Even though I was baptized, I felt like I really. There are moments where I really can't help but feel like I don't know anything and that I can't really do anything, like have any agency in my actions and stuff and do things. But I'm glad to have Lent has been a great help because although I slipped up plenty of times during the process, I think it was a great opportunity to sort of get back into the rhythm of things and sort of focus yourself on Christ and focus yourself on moving towards Him, no matter what you might slip up. And sorry, I don't want to hog the chat or anything here, but I suppose if I were to ask a question, it would be on sort of something you've spoken on quite frequently, which is scrupulosity. I find myself, if I'm in like prayer or something, and I like, if I something like, and these are like very human things. Like I might distracted, something might leap to mind which takes away from the prayer. I might mess up the words or something, and it'll be an accident, and like I never really know what I can do in those moments, even though they are accidents, but except carry on. But I always have that nagging sort of, you messed up there,
Mm.
and I don't really know how to deal with that,
No, dude, it's a real problem, and what I would say with it is, the only thing that you can do is not allow it to bother you, in the sense of understanding. For instance, if you're scared about messing up the words, something very distinct to remember about God is it's not a magic spell. It's not a magic spell. It's not, prayer isn't some, Harry Potter spell that we're like expelliarmusis or something like that. And if we say it wrong, like the wand's gonna explode and kill us or something like that. Like prayer is conversation with God. And so even if you mess up during prayer, if you have a keen heart, God's not going to judge you for that, man. Like he's not like the biggest thing we have to realize about Jesus is Jesus is not looking to condemn any of us to hell. That's the biggest like if anyone ever wanted a red pill, that's the biggest red pill you can ever have, because it's Christ's illumination is that he is not looking to condemn us to hell. He would not suffer and die on the cross for you or for me if he was looking for us to say, "Oh, well, man, dude, Otto, you slipped up on the words, bro. So I'm gonna have to I'm gonna have to condemn you to hell." It's like, no, that's not Jesus's attitude at all. Jesus is spectacularly merciful and loving, and he knows your heart too. And if your heart is pure and directed towards him, then you haven't sinned, right? Sin is the deliberate turning away from God. It is us saying that we would prefer the things of this world than God. If we're not saying that, then we haven't sinned. But if we are saying that, then we have sinned, right?
of course.
And so if you mess up on a prayer or something like that, don't be so hard on yourself. I mean, part of the thing with scrupulosity too is it's a certain level of mistrust towards God and a certain level of pride too, where we almost think that, oh, I need to do everything perfect. Well, no one's going to ever do everything perfect, right? Like I'm going to make mistakes, you're going to make mistakes. It's part of the whole nature of prayer is that we're going to make mistakes, we're going to crack a few eggs, but if we are constantly clamoring after God, then we haven't sinned at all.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, it is a matter of remembering that the Lord knows our heart, and that we don't want to. We want to be God fearing, but not God fearing to the extent where we. Oh, hang on. Sorry, I think I'm getting like a phone call right now at this moment. I think that might be the time to drop off, my friend. But thank you
Okay.
for having me on.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for coming on.
God bless, brother.
God bless, brother. Awesome. Awesome. Let's see who we got next, man. Wow, a lot of people. I don't know who's been waiting the longest is my question. Let's see. I will go. I think St. John the Apostle Respecter. What's up, man?
Hey, how's it going, Pine Sap?
It's going good, dude. How's it going with you?
It's going all right. Just watched a dumb Paul McCartney movie with my roommate. It was, yeah, it's like basically the film is just like you know, Paul McCartney does nothing in the movie, but it was just something we were bonding over.
That's awesome. Paul McCartney just hangs
Yeah,
out. He doesn't do anything.
essentially, yeah. It's like if give my regards to Broad Street, Broadway, whatever it's called.
Oh,
It was so boring. Yeah, but
that sounds kind of
besides that,
goofy.
yeah. But how have you been, dude?
Oh, I've been doing good. I mean, I some days are harder than others and stuff like that, but I'm just trying to roll through it. How have you been, man?
I've been all right. Len, it's just, it's not what I wanted it to be, but I chugged along through it as best I could. Because last year, like, that was when I was getting confirmed, and
Mm.
yesterday was actually my anniversary of being confirmed into the church. So, um, but this Lent, it was more, I was trying to do something extra as opposed to doing, just trying to uh, do something less to give towards the Lord, and I feel like I kind of failed in that respect. So in some ways, like I wish my Lent could have gone better this year, but um, I do think the reflections of our Lord during that time were fruitful for me, even if I wasn't able to do as much as I wanted. If that makes sense.
No, that makes sense, man. And I think also, every single Lent we have to understand that it's a development, right? We just get better and better and better, and we're gonna fall and we're gonna make mistakes. And one of the things about Lent and experiencing and going through the trials and travails of being Catholic during Lent is that we have to have a proper and keen heart of knowing, like, hey, I'm gonna make mistakes, I'm gonna mess up, and that's okay. And it doesn't mean that, like, I'm a bad person or anything like that. It just means that what it means essentially is that I'm someone who's just trying to develop and grow in the Lord, you know?
Right.
And that's very common,
Right.
man. I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, I guess it's also just like, at least in my life, I don't want to like dox myself, but it has been like very busy on my end. So it kind of fed into that, not praying or like not doing as much as I wanted to do during Lent, but I think I should be able to have some free time this summer. So,
yeah, man.
I did want to ask, like, yeah, have you been reading any good books lately?
Well, I mean, aside from the Lord's word himself, I'm now starting to read actually, oh, what is it? Secret of the Rosary by Saint Louis de Montfort.
Oh, that's a good one. I read that a year or so ago.
Oh, is it really good? Do you highly
What's the
recommend it?
Yes, I do. I mean, sometimes I remember things, and other times it's, a lot of flowery language that tends to kind of go in the back of my mind. But from what I read, it was like he is very systematic about like the symbology and what each part of the rosary kind of means according to scripture and according to tradition, at least up until like uh, when Saint Louis de Montfort actually lived. So yeah, I would highly recommend that book.
That's awesome, man.
It's
Well,
a
I'm
short read too. Yeah.
I'm glad I bought it then. I mean, that's like super, frankly.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to hog the call, so I'll leave you to it and hope you enjoy that book, bro.
Thanks so much, man.
Yeah. All right. God bless.
God bless, man. Okay, so a lot of people have been incredibly charitable in donating. I just don't know why my donation link isn't working. That's kind of weird. Let me check. Let me just check real quick, and then I'll take someone else's call. That's super weird. I don't know like why it's not working. Most of the time it does, but it's like anything that could go wrong today in terms of like donations and stuff like that has. So it's okay. We'll figure it out. Let me just check here to see if I got everything going. You know what I'm saying? Just so I got everything going. Just so I got all the stuff going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like, hey, you know, it's like forget about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh man, I don't know. That's okay. I'll read off your guys' power chats and stuff like that. I promise. I got them right here anyhow. Um, Oh no. Oh no. Oh no! Bro, some of these chats. Vintage Dairy Queen commercial, late 1960s. Oh no. Bro, I know who sent that one to me, dude. That person who sent that to me is being mad sus. I don't even I don't even wanna reference the joke. Dairy Queen, man. Oh my goodness. Ali Alexander with $3. Oh, and thank you for the Dairy Queen person who I know who it is, who sent two $5 donations. I really appreciate that. Ali Alexander, $3. I sent you a DM. Would love some special pictures from you. Oh, some special pictures, would you? Oh, I'm being too immodest. I'm sorry. I'm being too immodest there. I almost let my shoulder slip out, guys. I can't believe. I was being too sus there. I almost let my shoulder slip out. I mean, this is going to be the NSFW call-in episode. It's just it's too sus. It is too sus. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Saint Faustina Enjoyer says, "Love you, brother. Could you please talk about why the SSPX is bad?" Sure, man. I don't know if that's a joke, but if it's not, I can go over it just real quick. I mean, you guys know that I've gone over this a couple times, but essentially the main problem with the Society of Saint Pius X is that you know, it comprises itself on disobeying the legitimate and valid authority of not only the Holy Father, but the ordinary magisterium as well. So they'll kind of constantly say like, oh, well, you know, we obey the extraordinary magisterium. And it's like, no, like you have to obey the ordinary and extraordinary magisterium. So what is the extraordinary magisterium? Well, that's like papal statements that are infallible, like women can't be ordained, or, you know, marriages between a man and a woman, and contraception's bad, or contraception is illicit and sinful, and abortion's bad and stuff like that. But the ordinary magisterium are things like Catholic social teaching, things that are taught with a certain with a certain authority that we have to assent to, not the assent of like faith as in like revelation, but still with an assent of obedience of intellect and will. Because if we don't do that, then we're not truly Catholic. And so they don't do that. You're not allowed to attend their masses because they are not in a regular canonical status with the Catholic Church. And, you know, Monsignor Pozo has said this several times, even as I think soon as 2010 and stuff like that. John Salza goes more into the errors of the Society of St. Pius X in a more deep way than we will tonight. But essentially, they disobey the authority of the Pope. They dissent from the Second Vatican Council, and they dissent from the ordinary magisterium, and they possess no canonical status within the Catholic Church. So that's why they're bad in a Cliff Notes version. But great question. That was awesome. Big Nick said, "I love Pine Sap, bro. I love you too, man." Anonymous. So explain the Dairy Queen joke that Max sent. I don't think I'm gonna explain that Dairy Queen joke. I'm gonna be real with you, Chief. Basically, it's a sussy joke. It's a sus joke, and sus jokes are kind of inappropriate. So we're gonna go back to calls. But I really appreciate you guys for the donations. I'm sorry the mini feed is not working. I don't know why it's not for the life of me, but we'll get that figured out. But I really appreciate you guys donating. Thank you so much. That's just awesome. So, back to live calls. Let's see who wants to call. Vinsurrection. What's up, man?
Hello. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. I sure can.
Hey, what's happening?
Not much, man. What's going on with you?
Nothing much. I guess listen to some Twitter Spaces, finish taxes. started the Divine Mercy Chaplet on Sunday, so
That's awesome.
that's what's happening.
That's so good,
Yeah.
man.
I don't even listen that often, to be honest with you, but I saw it pop up and I was like, I'll tune in. I follow you on Telegram, so I was like, you know what? Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, I'm glad you
Uh,
tuned in.
Yeah, and I even I thought about it. I was like, you know what? I actually have a couple of questions that have popped up recently. I'll just do one. Have you heard about which one do we do? What about uh have you heard of the charismatic Catholic movement? Apparently, so there's a mystic running around. She was called to go to she said she had some vision that she was called to Alabama,
Oh,
and she has visions of some sort, and there's laying on of the hands and speaking in tongues. I don't know if she does it or if other people do it. I'm not quite even sure, but someone was telling me about this. I'm like, was that even? She goes, oh, it's approved by the church, by the Pope. I was like, oh, I have no idea what that is. I'll have to look that up later or something. So, I was wondering if you know anything about that. Thoughts?
yeah. So we actually went over the charismatic movement on a prior episode, but essentially what we covered is like the charismatic in so much as like the music they use and kind of like the general charisms are fine, but when they're overextended to such an extent that they're like Pentecostal in nature or something like that, that actually is not approved by the church. Prayers for healing and stuff like that are perfectly fine. I actually go to a mass run by a charismatic community, but they don't do any of the freaky or weird stuff. A lot of it is just they play guitar and talk about like the like fruits that kind of the charismatic movement might offer in terms of being like joyful about our faith and praying for healing and stuff like that, but nothing crazy like that. So she sounds a little off the reservation, unfortunately, and so we should pray for her.
Absolutely. Yeah, so there's a movement, and this seems a little bit different than the like established movement. Is that maybe what you're saying? Did I get disconnected? Hello?
Oh, I'm still here. Sorry, my mom texted me.
Oh,
Yeah, so the charismatic movement as a whole in a proper limited sense is approved. But it's not like approved in a sense of how do I explain this? It's like it is approved. But more aberrant elements or like crazy elements or something like that is not approved, right? So there's this understanding that like you can't just go and like dance with snakes and stuff like that and call that like okay, that's not allowed by the church in any way, shape, or form. But there is an understanding that you can have kind of this more like a joyful expression that's found in the charismatic movement of expressing the faith, but kind of like the personal charisms and stuff like that, the church is warned about being careful about that because it can fall into the category of like spiritual prelest, meaning you kind of think that you have this like special power, like divine a divine like mysticism that you actually don't have.
right, gotcha. Yeah, and this person was saying, it's done in a limited sense that you guys are talking in similar ways, so that's a good thing too. So that's really interesting. Yeah, I as a cradle Catholic, I always thought that was Protestant stuff, Pentecostal, like you said, and was just kind of caught off guard. So totally, yeah, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah.
I hope you're doing well, though.
I am doing well. Sorry, I was just texting my mom back because she was trying to figure something out with like my bank account or whatever. I didn't want to leave her hanging, but yeah, man,
everything's well. No.
Yeah. Oh, everything's cool. Everything's cool. She was just like, hey, you went to go eat out a bunch this week. I'm like, yeah, I need to tone it back. Sometimes I struggle with frugality sometimes. So let's see here. But yeah, man. Thank you for your question, and I'm doing pretty
Absolutely.
good, just trucking along, and I'm glad you asked that. Yeah, the whole charismatic thing. Essentially, the way to think about it is the church approves of it in a certain sense, but not like in an overextension. You know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah,
So
absolutely. Well, thanks. I will. I'll get out of here. Thanks for your time.
you got it. Thanks for your time, brother.
Bye bye.
Awesome. God bless you, brother. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to get distracted there, guys. I was just wanting to repeat in. Let's see, who's been waiting the longest? Smoke Pit, I'll get you after. Casino Groiper. What's up, man?
Hey, brother, can you hear me okay?
I sure can.
Okay, my question is, I'm wondering what your thoughts are on, have you seen the trailers for these? There's like two of these movies coming out, the Nefarious movie and the Pope's Exorcist, I think it is.
Yeah,
Have you seen
the Pope's Exorcist I saw a review of. I did not see the Nefarious movie. I'm not sure what that's about.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, yeah, it's some interesting stuff. I don't really know how to feel about it. It's one of those things where it's kind of one of those things where well, actually, I shouldn't say I don't know how to feel about it. Sorry, I'm a little tired. I do know how to feel about it. I don't like those movies, quite frankly. Like the Pope's
Yeah.
Exorcist is like totally like anti-Catholic and super into conspiracy theories. Like it talks
Oh,
about like
is
the
it?
Spanish Inquisition being started by like the devil and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And then
Oh, well, sorry to interrupt, but just about the Spanish Inquisition, I think it was you posted that, I think it was a BBC documentary
it
on it in the
was.
Telegram. Yeah, and that like opened my eyes about all that.
Dude, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, I mean, it really
Yeah.
is not like it really was not a bad event, honestly.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah, no, so it's just, I guess, more putting it more generally, my question is like your thoughts on those kind of movies in general, like possession movies, I guess, or demon movies, kind of thing, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I totally know what you're saying. I am very against them, generally speaking, because I don't think that they accurately depict the nature of possession, and I think they're kind of more just Hollywood adaptations and stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure.
And I think that it's one of those things where I think they're oftentimes used with a very anti-Catholic precedent, and they don't depict the faith or not popularly. They don't depict the faith positively or anything like that. And so, I'm really against them. I mean, if we lived in a sane society, like honestly, those movies would be like taken off the market and shut down.
No, yeah, for sure. And it's like, most of these movies, they aren't made by, it's not Catholics directing them or Catholic produce all that stuff. It's so and they're very unfair to the faith. That's for sure.
Oh,
But
absolutely. I mean, they're
yeah,
incredibly anti-Catholic, and it's like, I'm supposed to be over here being like, "Wow, that sounds great." Like, no, it's awful stuff, and I think it hurts people's faith, and quite frankly, just like hurts people in a way of harming people's faith, and maybe even possibly affecting their faith in a way that would lead them outside of the church. And it's like when you start getting to that, we've got a bit of a problem, right?
yeah, for sure. And I know you're on YouTube, so I'll just say we know who's behind a lot of those movies that the demon movies that portray the Catholic faith.
Yeah,
And
it's certainly
sure,
not mass going Catholics, to say the
yeah.
least.
Yeah. Well, that was my question, brother. I just, that's it. I hope you're doing well and everything, and I appreciate you bringing me in. But that's all. Yeah.
Yes, sir. God bless you, man.
You too, brother. All right.
Awesome. All right, Smoke Pit, what's up, man? Oh, I think you're still muted.
Oh, there we go. There we go. We're good. We're good.
Yeah, hey,
Yo,
what's up, man?
brother?
Not much.
Oh my gosh, so much sussiness in this chat. I don't know what's going on.
Dude, it is sussy. And my friend is sending me super chats that are super sus, super inappropriate.
Oh my gosh.
Disavow. We're going to disavow him, cancel him, shut him down. But
Oy
it's
vey. Oy vey.
but it's good stuff. It's good stuff.
Oh man, it's good to see you're doing good. I'm glad we get to finally talk, brother.
Yeah, man, it's good. You know, we've talked in the chats and stuff like that, but it's good to talk one on one.
Yeah, man. Yeah, for sure. I just wanted to say thanks for clearing up a lot of the questions I had about Papa Francesco. And I don't know if you saw I don't know if I messaged you or not, but I watched your stream with Franco, and like, I don't know. I have a little bit of a judgmental issue I need to get through. And so I wasn't entirely sure of, the collab. But after watching, I was like, this was so incredibly wholesome. And I feel like a jerk. So immediately I ran to confession and got that handled. But I just want to say thanks, dude, for taking the time to respond to me and kind of clear some of that stuff up. That was just really kind of you.
Dude, absolutely. Well, and I, I wanted to do the video because, I mean, gosh, I wish I had a video like that when I was coming into the church. I mean, half the stuff I do is like kind of a, gosh, I wish I had that, or I wish I did this or went through this differently and that sort of thing. And it totally is something that like you go through the pit of despair and back, and you experience, you experience almost like losing your faith. And when you get out of it, you're just like, man, I wish I had like a ton of these resources to have known the truth a lot earlier. And I mean, that defines the whole apostolate, like, I mean, Franco just wanted to know too, cause he was confused, and I was like, let's clear the air on it, man. Cause I mean, the problem is if you go on Instagram right now, there is more like anti-Pope Francis stuff than pro-Pope Francis stuff, especially in our circles, right?
Exactly.
And it's really unfortunate because like what it does is it winds up placing people outside of the fold of the church, and they even start denying certain dogmas or certain doctrines of the church. Like they'll start denying, for instance, like the church's what's called the church's indefectibility, right? The idea that like the church can't bind us to error, because if she did, then she wouldn't be the church anymore, right? But I've seen some Catholics speak in a way where they like almost pretend like something like that can happen, and it can't. It's impossible, right?
Yeah. Dude, oh man. It's been very useful to me. A lot of your knowledge on this is just so it's so extensive, and it's stuff that I'm not hearing from a lot of these other Catholic channels. And I think it was like I'd fallen into this weird space where it was like I was watching Return to Tradition and Kennedy Hall, and both of those guys are. I mean, I'm pretty sure Kennedy Hall, he's full SSPX.
He
and
is.
Return to Tradition, he's like a border. I think he's SSPX as well. Or
I think he is too. I'd
say
say he's at least adjacent. He's maybe not an as outspoken of a supporter as Kennedy Hall. He honestly might as well be, though.
Yeah. And so it was just like sowing seeds of dissent and confusion. And I'm like, oh, thank God, dude, that we have people like you in this movement, man. It's just so incredible. Incredible to find you, dude. But actually, I have two questions, if you don't mind, and then I'll get out of.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. So, one, do you game?
I do game.
You do. Okay. You should play. You should play PUBG with me and Anglo Zoomer at some point, if you'd like.
I would love to, man. I'll totally play PUBG. I'd have to buy it. I have it on Xbox when like I used to play games with my buddies, so I'll have to buy it for PC.
Well, it's free on Steam. Do you
Oh,
have, like,
sick. Okay, then I'll get
Steam
it.
Okay, yeah. Because I've never played it before. We played a couple matches today and had a great. I mean, I still suck, but we had a great time. And okay, so awesome. We'll figure that out at some point. And then second question. So I don't know how much you know about Baldwin the Fourth of Jerusalem.
I know a little
uh,
bit. I know a little bit
okay.
about him.
Okay. So I don't know exactly how to go about this, and I know you're really into, a lot of the church documents, etc. How difficult do you think it would be to start something to get this guy canonized, if possible, or at least start an investigation?
The difficulty with him is that there's a lot of good Catholic kings in history, but generally to be a saint in terms of a war situation is a little tougher. Um, I mean, there would have to be a cultist for him, which I don't think that there is currently. So a cultist is like the area that he lived in. There would have to be people actively venerating him.
Okay.
As far as I know, nothing's barring him from being canonized. But it's just that no one's picked up on it yet. So it's honestly kind of open. I just don't know how realistic it would be in terms of people going and venerating him. But hey, something could start. Crazier things have happened.
Yeah. I just don't know, like, what would I guess, the theological ramifications be for that veneration? Like, would that be okay? Like,
Oh, it would totally be okay. I mean, because Saint Louis the
Okay.
Ninth basically did the same things that he did.
Okay, yeah. All right. Okay, yeah. Then I'll hit up some of my Jew buddies in Jerusalem, and we'll get on that. We'll get right on that.
There you go.
Let's go. Let's go. But
Awesome.
yeah, that's all I had to say, man. I'll let some of these other guys get in here, but thanks for the great content, and we'll figure out a time where we can all get together and play some PUBG.
That's great, man. That's great.
Right.
I'm down with that.
Let's go. We're so back.
We're so
We're
back.
so back. All right, love you, brother.
Love you, brother. Talk to you later, okay?
Peace.
All right. Nick. What's up, man?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, dude.
Yo, I freaking love Cashapp, dude. Cashapp's my best friend.
Well, dude, I'm glad.
I'm glad. Yeah. I just want to say, big shout out to Cashapp. I used to be a cringe Catholic. I was one of those kind of guys who were like, like almost like Dr. Taylor Marshall types, where you're like get into like conspiracy theories about how the Pope's the Antichrist and stuff like that. Like I was getting close to that, and then like Pine Sap, brought me back into the light, kind of thing, where I'm not cringe anymore. I'm based now. So big shout out to Pine Sap for that,
Well, dude, I'm glad. That's awesome.
Yeah, I was you see like Dr. Taylor Marshall's videos where he's basically like saying, I mean, I'm sure you know about this, where he's like saying like the Pope's the Antichrist and stuff like that. I mean, now I just sit there and laugh at it, but I used to be like, I wasn't like fully one of those people. I was like getting close to that kind of stuff, and it was not good stuff. Not good stuff at all.
Not good stuff at all, man. Yeah, it's so easy to fall into as well. I mean, because like some of those guys have good political takes, and so you associate that with like good theology,
Mm-hmm. And like I know a couple people who are like that. I know there's probably some people who go to my church who probably listen to Dr. Taylor Marshall, to be honest. And like I know my mom, she's not a big fan of like Pope Francis and stuff like that, and she like teeters on that as well. So like, but we're to help her out, we're gonna make her not be cringe anymore. We're gonna make her be based like Pine Sap,
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, I mean, and sometimes it's a process, especially the older folks too, because they seem a little less receptive to like changing their viewpoint in that area.
Yeah. I have a question for you. It's a little weird, but I thought I should ask you this because you are the Riz Master. So there's this girl, you know, I'm trying to rizz up, you know, and she's not Catholic though, but she says she's like a Christian. She doesn't really know, like she's like, you know, switching around churches, you know, doesn't really know. But she says, you know, she's like cool with like Catholics, like she has no problem with Catholics. So I want to know, like, how would I go about like rizzing her up, you know, making her my trad cath, you know, like girlfriend? How would I go about doing that?
Like having her become Catholic.
Yeah, and like, you know, yeah.
American Voice in the chat. It's over. Big Nick is a fake cell.
No. See, bros just don't understand. This is just, you know, I see. This is the thing. Like, I don't want to have a wife, but you know, I feel like God's having me do it. So like, I just have to do it. You know, that's the real take. Is
You
that
just
I
gotta
don't want
do
to do
it.
it, but yeah, it's my calling. You know, I have to do it. So
No, I feel,
I'm
man.
still incel. I'm still incel. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I would say with that is, you know, for converting a girl in a relationship, it's kind of a whole different can of worms because there's the emotional element of like love involved. And what's difficult with that is, you know, sometimes there's a lot more slinging of emotion, right? So generally with girls, conversion is a lot less logical and a lot more emotional, and that's not even to be insulting. That's just generally how it goes. You know, girls are a lot more led about, well, how will this affect my social connections? How will this affect a relationship with my family? You know, how's my life going to change because of this and that sort of thing. And so it can be difficult, but I find that what works best for girls is paying attention to the things that are most important to them, right? So like if they're talking about like, well, I like the Bible. Well, then focus like on making your apologetics Bible based, right? Like focus on making your apologetics just focusing on what's in scripture and then showing how that pertains to the Catholic truth, right? Because if you do that, then you'll kind of be appealing to something that she cares deeply about, and you're showing how it's fulfilled inside the life of the church. Does that make sense?
Yeah. That's real.
Awesome. So yeah, I would say that's the money combo. If you can focus, like ask her what's more, you know, most important, like do you try to focus on the Bible, and she's like, yeah, then I would say go for biblical apologetics. And if you need resources, like Scripture Catholic is great for that stuff, scripturecatholic.com. And then Dave Armstrong's book, the I swear it's on my shelf over here right now, but I can't see it. Oh, here we go. A Biblical Defense of Catholicism, or Why We're Catholic by Trent Horn. Those are great books to talk to Protestants with, because they just kind of it's very simple, and it also is very biblically based too, so it clicks a lot more with them.
Yeah. Real quick before I go, like I said, you know, you're like the Riz master, so give me your best like rizzing like pickup line. You know, I might have to use it if it's good. You know, give me your best one.
My best pickup line.
Yeah. Like if I like pretend I'm a female, you know, and like you're trying to rizz me up, give me the best one.
Why is everyone being so sus tonight, man? It's like that one. What's that song? Ballin', like I wear them shawties on the G's, and it's like I'm like walking down the street, and like my butt cheeks are like super big and massive, and everyone's like, "Dude, Pine Sap, he's packing, bro. What?"
We need a Pine Sap cover of that song. We need you to sing that song.
If that song doesn't have inappropriate lyrics, I'll pull it up tonight. But if it's got like,
I don't really know that song.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll see what it's all about. But man, gosh, pickup lines. Oh
I'm taking
man.
notes. I'm taking notes. We're standing by.
Yeah, sorry. I'm trying to think of a good pickup line. You could go up to her and be like, man, what's something witty?
You got this, Pine Sap. believe in you.
Well, there's the old classic like, dang girl, did you fall from heaven? Because you looking like an angel right now. You know, there's that classic one, but that one everyone knows that one. So I'm trying to see. I got a lot of pressure. I'm trying to think of like an OG one. Like, what's an OG one?
Well, I have one. So Carter Shaw told me one yesterday. Do you know the song "Take on Me" by like Aha? I believe
Yeah.
is the band.
Yeah.
So he told me, and let me know what you think about this one. Call me Aha, because I want you to take on me, is what he said. What do you think about that?
That one's pretty good, honestly. Man, what's a good one? You go up to her and you're like, dang girl, you a saint? Because you sanctifying me with your presence right now.
Whoa. That's real.
I mean, you can do that one.
For blessing me with this.
You're welcome, bro. You're welcome.
Anyways, I don't want to hog this up, but everyone better be taking notes. Take notes. Relax and take notes.
Take notes right now. Everyone write this down. Yeah, dude, it's hard for me to come up with stuff on the fly.
I was gonna say I kind of rizzed her up by showing her a video I made, this edit I made to the song "Pumped Up Kicks," where like I denied like school shootings, and it like rizzed her up. So you know, like I was gonna say, you know, I kind of know how to do this stuff too.
Men really nowadays be risen up girls with Hyperborea edits. Like they go up to their girl and they're like, take a look at this, and it's like bleeding from the dark, and then it's like the little dark age, you know, like suddenly you're like, I'm red pilled, and you know I know what actually happened, and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you know, I was like, hey, let me know what you think about this. And she was like, whoa, you're so based. I'm like, I know. But
girl, I know.
I know. But anyways, I'll let you go in. But I love, just to say it again, I love Pine Sap, and everyone better you know, super chat Pine Sap too. Support the streams.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that, big dog. Thank you.
I'll see you later, King. See you later.
I'll see you later, King. Awesome. Wales, Jamestown. What's up, man?
Hey man, how you been?
I've been pretty good. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I just wanted to ask, well, not a few questions, but more so like a bigger question, because I've been in a hellscape of an app where sort of like all respective communions and denominations come together and hash things out and debate. And there's some good times where like the James White types come on and deny something like pedo baptism. We all come together and just flame like the heck out of him or her.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, we often quarrel amongst ourselves. So me personally, I am an Eastern Catholic, and I've always been of a more Eastern mindset when it comes to spirituality and sort of referring, you know, the West talks about concupiscence. I would, you know, say the passions or what have you, things like that. And I would read people like St. Maximus the Confessor and others, right?
Mm-hmm.
But one of the conversations I've been having with my Eastern brethren over at the Orthodox that I've been like discerning is that, and one thing that I've been thinking about is that polemics aside, right? Like the whole like, oh, you don't have the news kind of thing, but really like breaking down sort of the spiritual trends within the West and the East. One thing that's sort of been a stumbling block for me is sort of the trends. They would talk to me about, for example, like certain visions that the church had, and we've talked about how, like, you know, the magisterium is very careful and very analytical when it comes to visions and divine revelation. But me personally, like, you know, no influence when I myself have looked into things maybe such as maybe someone like Bernard of Clairvaux, when it said that he like sucked from the breast of Mary, or there was this other saint, I forgot her name, but she received the foreskin of Christ as a ring on her finger. Um,
Mm.
Another woman, she was like, it was like the whole victim soul thing, and Christ was saying that her soul would hold the sins of all, things like that, right? And while I've grown to appreciate in the West, people like Teresa of Avila, Saint John of the Cross, um, Catherine of Siena, like really highlighting the eros and agape, like the love that one has for Christ and being the bridegroom and things of that nature, right? Being part of the bridegroom of the church, right? But at the same time, like sort of reading the elders and the monastics and how they've sort of broken down the do's and the don'ts of receiving visions and all these things. Sometimes I get a little worried because I understand the magisterium. Some of the visions the magisterium hasn't really spoken on, but others the magisterium allows. But it really trips me up because it's like these visions are so grand and almost very uh I don't know the word, like just very extreme, to the point where it does it, to me at least, and I may be speaking out of place, but it almost becomes charismatic in a sense where it's just these grand outward forms of piety that garner sort of like a metaphysical ecstasy that it's kind of scary to me, right?
Mm.
um so polemics aside, like I really do sometimes, when discussing these things, I just kind of cringe a little bit because I don't know what to say to defend it. Because I look back into the early mystics in the patristic age, and I don't know what to really like say to defend these things. Um, so I don't know how to take it.
Well, I mean, there's a couple things you can say. I mean, I'm positive, like for instance, how Mount Athos was established. There was a Marian apparition that happened that was associated with it, right? And it was said that that
Mm.
saint saw a Marian apparition. Um, you know, there's a story, I remember Zoomer Theosis said this, that the Eastern Orthodox have, that Saint Francis of Assisi like appeared to one of their saints and said like, and like the saint asked him like, where's the real church? And like Saint Francis apparently pointed to the Orthodox Church, which is problematic because Saint Francis of Assisi very clearly believed in papal power and papal supremacy. um and most certainly that would create a lot of ecclesiological issues if he was saved in their ecclesiology based on how harsh they are towards us, right? Um, so yeah, they've got some private revelation stuff that's pretty out there. Now the Mount Athos thing, I believe, because that happened before the schism. I believe that happened, and there actually are even, I believe, in the sayings of the Desert Fathers, there are even miraculous things happening. Like there's a Eucharistic miracle that happens, I'm positive, in the sayings of the Desert Fathers, where one of the fathers like didn't or had a hard time understanding that the Eucharist is actually the flesh of Christ, and like he had a hard time understanding this, and so it like the Eucharist, he saw that it was flesh and then believed, right? So there are many saint stories of people being, healed, or crazy things happening that are, to most people kind of out there. And it seems to me that, ironically, Eastern Orthodox, especially on this topic, argue a lot like atheists, to be honest, where they're like, well, this thing sounds so outlandish. And I'm like, well, God is a God of surprises, and God can do a lot of incredible things that are surprising to us. And I understand the apprehension towards prelest. But again, like if we look at even their own background, they have plenty of, miracles and stuff like that are either like kind of out there, or actually even fake too. Like I don't know if you know about the holy fire,
The
folks.
fire.
It's a hoax. Like it's not a miracle at all. There's videos on YouTube of people being burned. And
Yeah.
and also like their priests admitting that it's a hoax too.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh yeah, straight up. And like on camera, like one of them saying like, shut up, shut up, shut up. And another like with the holy fire taking a lighter and lighting the torch.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah. So, and the other thing is too, like, at the end of the day, what I would say with orthos, and this is not denying our miracles happen. I actually believe the Saint Bernard of Clairvaux miracle. I believe the saint of the other. I believe all those things happen. But even that aside, my question is kind of like, what does that have to do with the price of bananas? You know what I mean? Because like that doesn't address ecclesiology, that doesn't address soteriology, that doesn't address like, you know, all these other aspects that they're trying to handle, and it seems like more an emotional appeal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. It's funny because they would say that I don't know if you've heard of the Orthodox ethos and Father Peter Hears,
Oh, I know
but
Father Peter here is all right.
yeah, yeah, an infamous bunch he's a part of. But it's funny because since his ecclesiastical standing is in question, he often appeals to the charism of the church, or sort of the in the sense of like the spiritual makeup and building of the fathers, and then of the men on Mount Athos, such as Paisios and others, right? So it's like, in a sense, they've also taken on sort of not a charismatic thing, but like, well, that's where the word charismatic from charism, but like this idea of the spiritual makeup is what's most important regardless of your ecclesiastical standing, right? So often I hear that when they speak of like, oh, the West is under pre-Lest, it's like it's under the paradigm that what our spiritual trends, no matter how loose or irrelevant they may be, reflects the greater church's conduct in our spiritual wellness in general, which I have my critiques of, but at the same time, sometimes I just, I get a little doubtful. So yeah,
And I would even add, what makes the old believers wrong then?
exactly. Yep,
Because
that's
and
kind of my
I'm serious. Like that sounds like they're like, oh come on, Pine Sap. But I'm like, yeah, what makes them wrong? Because you know they believe that the highest C in Christendom defected from the true faith. Why couldn't that be the same case for the Russian Orthodox Church or the Greek Orthodox? Right? Why are we not non or why are we not old ritualists? Right? I mean, you know, there's Orthodox canons that are against ecumenism and say you can't even be in the vicinity praying with a heretic or a schismatic, right? And here you have
yeah,
Patriarch Bartholomew and Kirill having ecumenical gatherings with us. You know,
yeah,
what does that do, right?
yeah, 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 yeah. I agree, and I often bring this to the attention of the Orthodox people I talk to, and see, like, because it's almost like it's a cognitive dissonance, but um at the same time, like I sort of wonder, like, at because I feel like this is a some Catholics use this, but I feel like it's like leaning on a bad chair with only one leg. It's like, well, we don't have to believe it, right? And it's like, yes,
Absolutely.
that's true, but at the same time, I feel like sometimes I feel like it's an easy way out to not defend the faith.
I
But at the
agree.
same time, I feel like, in the same sense, like, you know, I don't know. It's just within those lines that I'm figuring things out. And I don't know if I'm hogging up the room. I wanted to ask you sort of like a question onto that, but
Yeah, ask a
uh,
question onto that, dude. No, this is good stuff.
yeah, 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 okay. So within the context of like worship and spirituality, right? So like I've been speaking to a lot of my, it's funny, there's like a big thing going on amongst the Protestants, like with the higher classical, like Presbyterians and Reformed, and they're calling themselves like Reformed Catholics or Reformed Orthodox. It's pretty weird, but just them like getting mad at like the sort of Baptist or Anabaptist or what have you types that deny basic essentials within the creedal faith, right? But one of the things I've been talking about with them is sort of the whole Islam thing, because most of the time we team up when it comes to speaking to Muslims and um, being apologetics and charitable, but also speaking of like the things that are wrong with Islam. But at the same time, it's like often like they'll often bring up Vatican II and the whole, like, we all worship the one true Creator God, whatever. And while like I understand like there's like a misunderstanding, I've read the document, and I've had a hard time wrapping my head about it simply for the fact that I don't understand. Like, maybe you can break it down to me, but I thought at first it was simply saying that, the Muslims believe they come from the Abrahamic root and they believe we worship the one true God, so we should act accordingly and charitably to convert them to the truth, to the fullness of the truth. But when I saw a document, it just, flat out says that we all worship and adore the one true God, right? So, like, in the history of Catholicism and Islam, and Catholicism's mission to Islam and defending our churches and our faith from them, on a historical note, I don't understand why this was seen as a magisterial necessity. Maybe you can correct me on that. And also, I feel like every time I'm speaking to a Muslim, it's always looming in the back of my head like that document, and it's like, am I, like, am I standing on like one leg, trying to convert this Muslim, because he could easily be like, well, we believe in the one God, like things like that. So, like, I don't know how to really like reconcile this. So if maybe you could clear that up.
Well,
I don't know.
I think maybe what you're confusing is worship versus true worship, right? So I can worship someone improperly and not give him true worship, right? So they worship God understood as the God of Abraham, our God, but in an imperfect way, right? So they don't offer him true worship. And this is why Vatican II talks about like only the church possesses salvation, right? Because they don't direct true worship. And what's funny about that is Eastern Orthodox might try and critique you for that. However, very distinctly, we can go to St. Gregory Palamas, and his quotes on the issue don't really do them any services. So let's see if we can bring this up here. I'm gonna bring this over a tab that won't have me reveal my identity real quick. Let's see here. Yeah, this is going to be pretty damning to their position. And by the way, you should watch this video. It's by William Albrecht. It's really, really, really good. But I'm just going to it for the quote. So let me shift to the review page. Display capture. Okay. So we go to the quote, and here's what we see from St. Gregory Palamas. Then we heard wailing coming from inside the city. As we turned to the direction of the noise, we saw a whole group of barbarians bringing out the body of a dead man. Walking slowly, we came so close to them that we were able to see and hear what they were doing and saying. When they all arrived at the cube, so he's talking about the cube at Mecca, they all observed in absolute silence, and then more of them, lifting up the box wrapped in white sheets with the white dead man inside, placed it solemnly on the cube. He, rising up his hands, let out a cry, and they responded even louder. He did this 3 times. Then those who were set to do the burying take down the box on their arms and walk further down. All the rest of them, with the last names, returned. Not the last names. I'm sorry. With the Tasmenes, returned home. Okay. Then he goes on. As I was sitting there, I asked whether anyone could speak both languages that I needed. There was somebody whom I asked to say to the Turks on my behalf that what they had performed outside there, I thought it was good. Quote, for you address yourselves to God, to whom else? For the deceased one. I wanted, however, to know what was that you exclaimed to God. So why is St. Gregory Palamas, an Orthodox saint, saying here that they're addressing God? You see what I mean?
Yeah.
But clearly, I know for a fact he didn't believe that Islam was true, right? So doesn't it make sense that he's saying that they acknowledge God, but in an imperfect way? Or rather, they offer God false worship, but they acknowledge the true God?
Yeah, and I'm reading the quote right now. He's making no distinction at all, like nothing.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah. That. Damn. I didn't know that.
and I mean we can read on just to add insult to injury to the ortho position. So he says Tasmenes, using the same interpreter, said that he would explain. We ask God for forgiveness from God for the deceased for his own sins committed in his soul. Goes on. Tasmenes, using the same interpreter, said that he would explain, quote, we asked for forgiveness from God for the deceased, for his own sins committed in his soul. Retorting myself, I said, very well, but the judge is merciful, indeed, and dispenses mercy, and he who will come as judge of every race of men, even according to you, is Christ. You must be addressing, therefore, the prayers and the exclamations to him. Thus you, too, invoke him as God, as we do, who believe that as an inborn word of his, he is indivisible from the Father, for there was no time when God was without reason or without the natural word. St. Gregory Palamas. Boom.
Yeah, they gonna love this.
How are they gonna explain it? Are they gonna disown their own saint?
Their most precious saint at that. Yeah, I did not know. Thank you.
Well, dude, the Eastern Orthodox position's so bad because they have a saint that made a hymn to Buddha and Muhammad. Did you know that?
Yeah. I'm aware. I'm also Saint Silouan praised the sages of Hinduism, saying, "Blessed be to you who laid the path." So yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know the specific piece. I really appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah, and coming from Gregory Palamas, like the ultimate ortho bro, I would have never expected that.
I mean, it's crazy, isn't it? Like, how am I gonna? How are you gonna explain that? It doesn't make any sense. You know. And I mean, I would watch the rest of this 2-part series because he goes into further the whole issue with Islam and Judaism in Nostra Aetate. And he'll explain it in such a way that you won't have any confusion whatsoever. But the point being is they don't have a leg to stand on, essentially.
Yeah. They'll probably say no, economia, and then they'll
economia.
They'll end it there. But yeah, I really appreciate it, man. It was that was very enlightening. You never disappoint for real.
Awesome. Well, I'm glad, man.
So yeah. Only thing now is did you see the before I go? Did you see the tweet by Patriarch Primes of Ortho? He said how the filioque led to gay sex in Germany.
Like, dude, what are you talking about, bro?
Oh, you don't know?
Well, like I mean, like I know about the tweet, but I'm like, dude, what is Prime talking about? Like, that is just total nonsense, dude. I mean, it's beyond parody.
It is like I sent it to my reformed friend, and he said, "Average ortho moment only gets worse from here."
He's like over here. He's like, okay, listen here, papish. This is why my dad left my mom because of the filioque. A thread. This is why my parents got divorced. A thread on the filioque.
Yeah, sometimes I wonder. I'm just like, where am I? And then I see tweets like that. I'm like, I know exactly where I am.
Hey, Wills, I gotta ask you a question, bro.
What's good?
I gotta ask you as a uniat, because you're a uniat, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. If filioque is real, then why did my dad leave when I was 5 and doesn't want to have a relationship with me? Can you answer that one?
He didn't have the noose, man. He did not,
He was suffering from spiritual prelust. He was suffering from prelust, and suddenly he departed. He wasn't continuing, and he didn't appreciate the doctrine of economia.
His divorce doctrines were circular, man.
His epistemology of why you were his son was totally off. Okay, it's circular.
Oh wait,
classic.
All right, bro.
Yeah.
Well,
I appreciate it, man.
It was great. It was great having you on. I am gonna go to another person if you're okay with that, though.
Yeah, all good, man. God bless you. I really appreciate it.
God bless you, bro. All right, Lanzo. Yo, what's up, dude?
Hey man, how's it going?
It's going pretty good. How's it going with you?
It's going pretty good. Oh man, it's great to finally talk to you.
Yeah, man, it's good to talk.
Um, shoot. Um, yeah, great stuff. I was wondering, I noticed that a couple of y'all were kind of dogging on the Matt Fradd and Laura Horn episode. I was just kind of wondering what your thoughts are on like Pints of the Aquinas right now. I don't know if you listen to him much or not, or like any of his recent interviews.
I,
Um,
I'm
I've been
still
trying to get
subscribed. I'm still subscribed
Yeah.
for sure. Here's the thing, man. Like I'm just being real with you. He's got to stop having like lay women on to talk about like sex.
For sure.
I'm just being blunt. Like Matt, you got to stop, dude. It's gross. It's not funny and it's not endearing. It's really gross and it feels like wrong, you know? Like cuz
Yeah, for sure.
the whole attitude is like almost like, guys, look, Catholics can have sex too, guys. Catholics can enjoy sex too. Sex, sex, sex. You know, I love it, dude. It's awesome. Oh, guys, remember, we're Catholic. We're not anti-sex. Guys, we're not anti-sex. We love the body. We're not. Guys, think about sex, but don't think about it in that way. But think about it in the way that I want you. And it's like, stop. Stop, dude. We don't need to think about that. We don't need to talk about that, you know? Keep it to yourself, as they say. I mean, like, even that Catholic intimacy website kind of irks me out a little bit. It's like, yo, can y'all just keep it in your pants? I mean, for real. Like, are people so down bad that, like, they have to go on a live stream and be like, guys, we're going to make jokes about sex for 15 minutes now and just talk about it? I mean, I'm like, Pat, buddy, stop. It's time to stop. It's time.
Yeah, but one thing I thought was interesting is I was just kind of going through. I was kind of thinking about some of his old stuff lately. I've been listening to some of the interviews that he's done with like some monks and a couple guys lately, just while I'm mowing yards, and some of his old podcasts have been popping up in my recommended. He interviewed Michael Voris like 4 years ago, and it was really interesting. I listened to the first like 5 minutes, and he was basically like, "Look, guys, if we're gonna hate on trads, then they need to actually be wrong. Like their stances need to be incorrect. Like you can't just hate on somebody just for no reason." He's like, if they're actually saying stuff that's wrong, then like come out here and actually like prove what they're saying, prove that what they're saying is wrong, and if not, then either just support them or just stop just like apologies for my language, but stop like shitting on them just for no reason, just relentlessly. And then of course he had that kind of infamous interview with Timothy Gordon that was like 3 hours long, which was just absolutely hilarious, where Timothy Gordon was talking about like feminists and stuff, and Matt Fradd was completely blindsided by it.
He's just like, he just couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I mean, dude, yeah, well, and that's real. And the problem is, like, I feel like every other episode, Matt has to make it a point to be like, girls are queens and women are queens and they're always right and it's always the guys. Guys, hey, listen, groypers, listen up, okay? You need to start respecting women, okay? I get so angry when I don't see a queen being respected, okay? Ugh! That's the problem, dude. What, like, you groypers out here are not respecting queens, okay? You incel chuds need to learn a thing or two. I'm just saying, Lanzo.
Hey, what can I say? What can I say? It's not my fault.
You didn't ask to be. I didn't ask to be born in the incel life. The incel life chose me.
I don't have the Hyperborean Riz yet.
You don't yet, but you will one day.
I haven't quite reached that level.
It'll be awesome though, dude. You'll reach it. I promise. Nice. Well, brother, I don't mean to let you go so fast. Is there anything else you wanted to ask, or?
Shoot, yeah, there was. Sorry, I'm kind of blanking. If you got somebody else in line, go ahead and let them on.
Okay, yeah, you can totally just raise your hand again.
All right, cool.
Okay, let's see who's up. I know American Boy had his hand raised. Oh, Ryan. Ryan hasn't spoken yet. Ryan, what's up, man? Gotta unmute, big dog.
There you go. I'm sorry, I'm like retarded.
No, it's okay, man.
Yeah, how's it been, man?
Oh, it's been okay. How's it been with you?
Yeah, it's okay. You know what I mean? It's fine.
Well, that's great.
I was gonna ask. Oh, thank you. I'm also gonna ask. Do you know any like good books that talk about like sexual sin and stuff like that?
Ooh, that's a good question. I think St. John Paul II talks about it in Love and Responsibility. I think that would be a great book. I know the Book of Gomorrah. Are you looking more for like an encyclopedia or something that could help you figure out like what are sins, or are you more looking for a book to help like overcome that struggle?
Like overcome the struggle. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then in that case, what I would actually, Love and Responsibility is a good book. I would place that lower on the list, not because it's not great, but it's more kind of a conceptual view of like sex and stuff like that. If it's something like pornography or masturbation or something like that, there's a great devotional called Purity at Heart. And I can't remember the woman who wrote it up, but she like compiled a bunch of advice from like the saints and stuff like that and wrote up this really great volume that talks about kind of like that sin, and like there's prayers every single day and meditations every single day. I'd say Confessions of St. Augustine is really, really, really good. And then also Evagrius of Pontus's Talking Back is really good to figure out how to fight the devil when he places impure thoughts in your head and your heart. And I would also say the Book of Gomorrah by St. Peter Damian is fantastic for that subject.
Yeah, thanks, man.
Yeah, you got it, bro.
I have read the Confessions. I love that book so much. It's so good.
Isn't it awesome?
It's awesome. Confessions is so awesome.
I got to start reading it, man.
You haven't read it yet?
I haven't read it yet, but I was going to start it after the Rosary book.
Oh, man, I cried while reading it. No, that's a big game in it, but I cried.
No, dude, that's awesome. Hey, when it comes to, I will say this, when it comes to saint things or holy things, crying for men is okay. You guys just shouldn't cry about like stupid stuff or whatever, like a girl breaking up with them.
Yeah, my goth TF left me. I'm crying.
You're just like, be quiet! I'm trying to play NFL right now.
Honey, I'm gonna beat you. Let me play Minecraft with my friends.
I'm angry. Hey, shut up! I'm trying to play video games right now.
Yeah, I'm incel for life, though. You know what I mean? I don't hate women, but I'm incel for life, man. Homie.
Incel for life. Incel.
Yeah, I can't
for
deal
life.
with Latinos. I can't deal with Latinos, man. I can't deal with women at all, to be honest.
I feel that, man. Well, hey, if God wants you to get married, he'll send a girl that's meant for you, man.
Yeah, he sent me a trad Latina.
Base. Well, hey, man, it's been fun talking to you. I'm gonna move on to the next person if you're cool with that.
Yeah, that's fine, man.
Awesome.
God bless you. Have a good night.
God bless you, bro. JPEG. Oh, shoot, I did something weird. Hold up. JPEG, what's up, man? Just unmuted you.
Okay. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I was talking to my father a little bit about this Marjorie Taylor Greene, not the drama, but the Bible translation that she, quote unquote, she is releasing.
Is it the Christian Nationalist Bible?
Yeah.
Dumb. Throw it out. Throw it out. Get it out of here.
No, I don't want to get it.
No,
but
no, no,
I'm
no, no, no,
saying,
no.
hey,
I didn't mean with you. I meant with her. Like, take it off the market. Throw it out. That's dumb. What does that offer?
It's not even really. It's some sort of like, really, like, what's the term? Like, is it homunculus? Like the, like mythology with like the monsters. Homunculi, I think, is what it was.
Yeah.
Of like Bible like translations, and it was sort of a question that I had, because my father was talking about this, and he sort of made it a good point, which was there's sort of like a degree of narcissism like an individual has to have to like try to translate the Bible as like a side project.
I would agree.
And so it's sort of curious if there's any Catholic teaching on like who is actually allowed to translate the Bible, because my assumption would be like reasonably it would be the one true church that God has appointed.
Yes.
That it would be the only entity fit. And so I was just curious if there was any like teaching on that.
So the church has to approve a Bible translation for it to be adopted as something that Catholics should be reading. So it has to either be approved. It has to generally be approved by the bishop, right? And so like Ronald Knox got his approved. In fact, actually, his was so good that Archbishop Fulton Sheen really liked it. The Knox translation, Douay Rheims, all those translations have to be approved by the bishop. I think the local bishop can approve them if I'm not mistaken. Actually, okay. I think there is a certain. I'm not sure how the structures work, but I feel like the Pontifical Biblical Association too would also step in a little bit as well in that project. So
okay, that was my question. Right.
Yeah, man.
Thanks, man. Have a good night.
Have a good night. Okay, GFG, what's up, man?
Hey, what's up?
Not much, dude. I saw you send in a super chat. Let me open it up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, my system isn't working right now.
No excuses. No excuses. You robbed me.
Bro, I didn't even rob you.
Nope. You robbed me.
Dude, I didn't rob you. I swear. I'm incel, dude. I don't rob incels.
You and your Latina GF are stealing that $3.
Bro, I am literally.
You're running off somewhere.
I don't know why everyone keeps saying that. I literally, I like don't have a Latina GF.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
You're white Aryan GF. My mistake.
Bro, I don't even have a girlfriend. I'm incel. Did you not see the hand sign I gave Ryan? Incels for life? Dude, that said it all right there, man.
Oh. Yeah, okay. All right. I believe you.
You got it, man. Do you want me to play the Yay song you sent?
If you want, you can play it like as an outro for whenever this ends. You don't have to play it right now.
Okay. I'll keep it in the background. That sounds good. Anything you wanted to ask, brother?
Yeah, but I forgot.
Oh, that's okay. Well, you can just raise your hand again.
No. Well, I'm gonna say this. If you should bring on American Boy next.
Oh, okay.
If he raises his hand.
If he raises his hand, he was raising his hand, but then stopped.
All right, American Boy, wake up! It's time to wake up.
It's time to wake up, big dog.
Wake up! All right, I will. If I remember, I'll come back when there's a good opportunity.
You got it, G.
All right.
Awesome. Okay, Isaiah. What's up, dude? Oh. I guess Isaiah left, huh? Weird. Casino Groiper, you're up, man. Hello?
Can you hear me?
Oh, I can hear you.
Forgot to unmute. Sorry, brother. No, I was just gonna. I want you to expand on your thoughts about Matt Fradd, the Pints with Aquinas guy. It's like seems like he's trying to get in with this whole Daily Wire scene. Have you noticed this?
A little bit, yeah, and I think he kind of is cozy with them and stuff like that, but it presents a large issue, frankly, you know?
Yeah. Kit, you mind expanding on that?
Well, I mean, essentially, like the problem is, you know, Matt and all these other kind of, I mean, I'm not trying to be rude when I say this, but kind of Reddit tier Catholic content creators, like, you know, they hold the true faith. Like, I don't doubt their orthodoxy or anything like that. I think they're sincere Catholics completely. There are sincere brothers in Christ. I have no reason to doubt their faith. However, like, what they want is like what we offer, right? Like a society not controlled by feminism, a society not controlled by like homosexuality and sodomy and all those things. But then they keep voting and supporting the same people who are never going to give them that. Like Ben Shapiro is never going to give Matt Fradd a society that's Catholic, right? You know, Matt Walsh, I mean, Matt Walsh has had some based moments and stuff like that, but Matt Walsh still doesn't go the full way. He doesn't hit the yay button. He you know, wants to kind of do this whole, you know, still kind of somewhat libertarian position, stuff like that. And he's got to break the mold, man, because these people are never going to get what they want if they're not willing to be offensive and be hated. That's just blunt. You gotta die. Like, you gotta be willing to take a bullet if you want a truly Catholic society that worships Jesus Christ, because otherwise it's just going to be the same repeated Republican Party crap over and over and over and over again, and it's never going to change ever at all. You know?
100%. I totally agree.
I'm tired of it.
Because you know, as recently he had on within the past few months, he had on Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh, I believe, as well. And it's just, it seems like he wants a ticket into the club, you know. But he has some good interviews and stuff. But it's like, what are you doing, bro? You know.
What are you doing, dude? Well, and that's the whole thing. Like, Michael Knowles, isn't it also funny too how all these homies are always like, Nick's such a bad Catholic and Nick's not a real Catholic and stuff like that. And then Nick's like, I pray for the Pope every day and I love him. And then they're like, Pope Francis is a communist and he's the worst Pope we've ever had. I'm like, where does the shoe fit, big dog?
Yeah, it's like, I'm not, how did I say this? I'm not the biggest fan of the Pope. I don't know if that's the right way to word it. Like, but I'm a Catholic. It's a hierarchy. I support him.
Absolutely.
I obey I obey the Pope. It's like, yeah, and it's like, I know what you're saying. They're like, oh, he's a communist. He endorsed gay marriage. All these like articles. Oh, he endorsed gay marriage. Not really though.
Did he? Did he?
Actually,
or he said it was a satanic attack on the family.
Right. Yeah. And then like guys like Matt Walsh and Michael Knowles, though, they'll like see the headlines on these articles and be like, "Oh my God, he endorsed gay." Oh my gosh, excuse me.
Yeah, I was about to say no using the Lord's name in vain, big fella.
Yeah, my apologies. But they're in line with the mainstream media narrative.
They are.
About the Pope. Yeah.
They are. How do they think they're going to rebel? They went to bat for Trump so hard during the election. I mean, Trump might as well have been like I don't even know, man. Trump might as well have been treated like how the Pope should have been treated, right? Every single thing they would defend about him. Every single thing. Even when honestly he didn't really deserve it. And they do that for him, but they don't do that for the literal vicar of Christ. What's wrong with them?
Right. It's and that's why it's a big thing I respect about you is you're very charitable. You know, when you're discussing like things about the Pope or whatever it might be about the faith, you're very charitable and honest about it. And it's like many people aren't like that, It's like these guys
Yeah.
are working for, you know, you know who, and they're just not charitable at all.
The corporations, the secular humanist corporations, is
Right?
that?
Yeah, they're working for these guys who are working for the secular humanists. Kind of, yeah.
Yeah, man. I mean, isn't it kind of funny how that goes, right? You know? I mean, I don't work for the secular humanists, you know?
Right, and it's just, I mean, it's literally they're just, I mean, selling out. It's like, I don't know. I don't understand. I could never do that, but
It's vile. And I mean, in to be charitable to Matt Fradd, I've never heard him say anything about the Pope that way. He generally takes a pretty orthodox line. But Walsh and Knowles do. And I am going to hold them account for their words. They have deliberately said things. I mean, the fact that Michael Knowles was in Mass of the Ages, no. What does he have to say about the Mass, dude? I mean, he's Catholic. He's our brother in Christ. Like, I guess I shouldn't say what does he have to say about the Mass in a mocking way of implying that he's like not Catholic or something. He is. And I'm in no position to judge where his heart is with God in any way. But he's not a theologian. He's a random, like, conservative guy who really doesn't know a whole lot about the church's teaching.
no, right. He's a conservative talking head. He's not a theologian, like you said. And it's like, yeah, that whole Mass of the Ages thing. I've heard.
It's nonsense.
Yeah.
Straight up.
Yeah.
Dude, the Dominican sisters of, I think it was Perth, Australia, they did a fantastic like little mini documentary that was 15 minutes long about all the problems with Mass of the Ages, and they destroyed it in 15 minutes.
Oh, really? It's on like YouTube or what?
Yeah, look up the Dominicast. I'll actually post it tonight again on my channel.
Yeah, that sounds interesting. Yeah, but it's like, oh, and I was gonna say Matt Fradd, he's a big defender of the Pope and everything. Even he's had some posts where he's even kind of the kind of Catholic that is like very against the traditional Catholic, like the Latin Mass and all that.
Or the Mad Trads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Which I think you do it perfectly. You don't hate the trads or anything. You just I mean, a regular Catholic, I guess you'd say. But it's like I don't know, he's had some posts where it's just, I don't know, he's said very uncharitable things, and it's like, I don't know, kind of an odd guy.
Well, it seems like sometimes they object to like the worst things that like we shouldn't be objecting to. Like, for instance, my problem with the Mad Trad has never been like their emphasis, for instance, on like women being modest. Like, yeah, we could use a lot more of that, frankly, in the life of the church. Are you kidding me? Like, I mean, I've been to church with girls who dress like in like skinny jeans.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
And
I mean, I think, sorry to interrupt, but
No.
real quickly, that's all. I think that's kind of a major problem. Is it's like everywhere, anywhere you go, it's women dressing on modestly when they're going to mass.
Casino Groiper, why do you hate women, dude? Dude, why are you sexist, bro?
Imagine not being sexist.
Dude, you hate women because I know why you hate women, okay? Are you ready? You hate women because you can't date any. You're an incel, dude. Get out of the cult. Nick is keeping you in a cult right now. Dude.
John Doyle moment.
Go get a girlfriend right now and just worship the ground she works on, dude. Get out of that cult. Get out of that cult mindset, dude. You're locked in. You're trapped. Why aren't you worshiping women, bro?
That's another. Speaking of that, that's another thing too.
For real, honestly. Jokes aside, sorry.
Oh, excuse me for cussing, but Catholic Twitter is just a degenerate
Oh,
cesspool of like
Catholic
like
Twitter,
sects and,
Catholic Twitter.
yeah.
Dude, there's
You know what I
homies on
mean?
there that like brag about like openly dissenting on the church's teaching on sexuality, and they're like, "But
Yeah.
I like the based mass." I don't care, dude.
Yeah,
I don't care.
well, and it's either it's like Catholic Twitter is like either it's like trads who are so uncharitable, like what's his name, Taylor Marshall, or it's just like total simpery.
It
Like,
is. It is. It's white
bad.
knights,
Yeah, it's really bad.
and it's
Really
annoying.
bad.
But hey,
Yeah.
man, I've loved talking to you. I am gonna go to Lord Charles Otto if you're cool with that.
Yeah, sorry to keep you.
No, you're good, bro. I enjoyed talking.
Yeah, same. All right, I love you, brother, and I always keep you in my prayers.
You got it, bro. I'll keep you in mind, okay? God bless you, King.
All right. Later, brother.
Nice. Lord Charles Otto. What's up, man?
Yo, good to be back. I just want to say, to start off, there have been so many clippable moments during this live. It is good, great, good time watching it. Anyway, but yeah, sorry I had to pop out really quickly there. I did get a phone call, but I only just came back really quickly just to clear some things up in the chat. Just thought this would be the easiest way to do that. I know when I said like Pines Apple was my Anglo brother, I know I do live in Ireland, but like my background, I have a substantial Anglo background in addition to being Irish. So I wanted to appeal to that sort of fraternity between myself and Pines App and all that. Just the way like when I'm on Spexos Live, I'd like to appeal to the Irish side of things. But I mean, I suppose at the end of the day, we're all brothers in Christ, you know?
That's all that
So
matters.
I just wanted to clear up those, like, any confusion that might have been there, you know? But,
That's good.
yeah, that's more or less what I wanted to say. Sorry to butt back in there, but
No, it's okay.
yeah.
You're just an incel racist groiper, you know? I've been dealing
Yeah,
with you
boy,
guys all night. No, go ahead. Go ahead,
you
King.
know,
Oh, what were you saying? You cut out for a moment.
oh, I was just saying we're growing in numbers every day, you know?
We are. Chuds stay winning,
Chud-
bro.
Chud, we're gonna stay winning. We've got Christ on our side, so how can we lose, you know?
That's real. As long as we're always concordant with his will, he'll always be on our side, man.
It's so true. But anyway, thank you again for the opportunity to speak. I shall let others come in now. Thank you.
You got it, bro. God bless you.
God bless. God bless.
Okay, Isaiah. What's up, dude? Okay, I guess it just dropped again for him. Yikes. All right, GFG, what's up, man? You got on mute, big dog. Are you to mute, big dog, or? Huh. Okay, well, if you want to raise your hand again, I'll let you. Alex, what's up, man?
I just wanted to tell you that your haircut looks nice.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. That means a lot to me.
Yeah.
Well, God bless you, King.
God bless you too.
Awesome. Okay, GFG, what's up, dude?
Okay, my apologies. Third time calling in, and I like by a second nearly misclicking on me. I just had to take a call real quick. But I wanted to talk. I don't know if you talked about it, but have you talked about John Doyle yet on this live stream?
Yeah, no, I do want to just be careful though about how we talk about him, just because I don't want to get into anything that would be maybe sinful talk. So we got to
Oh
be
yeah,
careful
yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
Yeah, but so John Doyle. John Doyle.
I mean, man,
Um,
I just those AV guys, dude. Like, they're not gonna provide any alternative to AF. I'm gonna just say that right
yeah.
now.
And, you know, for a while, I think we all kind of knew what the deal was. He was not who he said he was. Because he's surrounded, with people who aren't, the best morally.
Mm.
And the people he was trying to get with, like Daily Wire and Blaze. So we all kind of knew.
Not good either.
Yeah.
Well, think about too, and I don't want to mention anyone's specific sins or anything like this, but think about it. Isn't it kind of interesting how the people who criticize us the most for not including women in this movement are also the people who oftentimes have seemingly had a lot of sexual misconduct?
Yeah, it's very interesting.
It's kind of interesting,
Very
isn't
interesting. Yeah.
it? Kind of says a lot.
And, also on another question, a certain J question, people criticize us for that, also seem to be working for these types of people. They seem to be, I don't know, working for those, what are they called? Those specific individuals.
The secular humanists.
Those companies.
Those
secular
companies.
humanists and companies.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about it too is they'll defend when they like blaspheme and stuff like that. And of course, like love speech, like I want them to convert and be our brothers and sisters in Christ. I don't wish any like secret ill will or anything like that. But it's like you got like Ben Shapiro like openly blaspheming our Lord. Why was he not canceled for that? I would have been like, if I was a Daily Wire person back then, I would have been like, that's it. I'm not supporting you anymore.
Yeah.
But instead it's like, oh, it's not his religion.
Like, yeah, he's like a Orthodox Jew, right?
I think he's actually a conservative one.
Okay.
Which is different because the Orthodox are more stringent in their observance. Conservative are more loose, but kind of maintain a lot of the stuff. And then Reform is like, it's like the Episcopalianism of Judaism, essentially.
When we hear the word Reformed in front of any, like Reformed Orthodox, Reformed Catholic, Reformed whatever, we all know they're not what they say they are.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember when Ben Shapiro was on whatever live stream he said that on, and I didn't really, think of it anything at the time because I wasn't really, Catholic at the time, and now it's just a lot of like Christians follow him, and it's very sad. They just don't understand. They don't know. That he's not your friend. He wants to. He thinks that Christ is burning in hell in a pile of excrement. He is not your friend. He's not going to bring back Judeo-Christian values. He's going to bring back Jewish values, which is abortion, usury, satanic evils. That is what he's going to do. So we have to, of course, love and pray for their conversion, but we cannot falter. We cannot hide. We cannot run. We have to stand firm.
That's true, and we have to stand firm in the faith, man. And we can't dumb it down because it offends them either.
True.
Because that's real love. Like real love is like wanting the Jewish people to convert. It is praying for their conversion and wanting them to convert. It's not trying to pull this whole like false Irenicism and stuff like that. That's not it. That's not it at all.
That's true. Yeah.
And we have to be honest about that. So.
Yes.
Awesome, King. Awesome. Well, hey, dude, American Boy's here. Should I let him in?
Oh, American Boy. Should let him in. Raise your hand, American Boy.
Yeah, raise your hand, bro.
I've never talked to this guy. I want to know who you are, American Boy.
Okay. I'm gonna mute you, dude. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
All right, bro. What's up, man?
Yo, what is up, Cashapp?
How are you doing, dude?
I'm doing great right now. I'm just gonna go get a smoothie and some food right now. So doing great. How about yourself?
I'm doing good, man. Not appreciating that
that's great
fake
to hear.
cell comments though. I'm a little offended by that.
Dude, it's because you are fake. So I seen all the evidence.
No,
I'm
dude.
not on the Milo thing. I'm gonna drop it. I'm gonna drop the evidence. And I'm gonna expose the DMs that you've been trying to, DM religious hippie and stuff like that. So I gotta
Okay.
expose you.
I'm waiting for them to be released, man.
Yeah, me and Ryan are gonna expose you. It's gonna be like a big expose.
It's gonna be the next drama.
Yeah, it's gonna be like on Dalton's stream, and then just it's gonna go crazy.
Beardson and Wurzelroot are gonna do new weekly sweat episode, and it's just gonna be my face on it, and it's like, look at this guy, look at this dude.
Yeah, look at this dude shipping for religious hippie, which he actually is like a John Doyle enjoyer, so that's pretty gay.
Hey, dude, listen, Neo-Gastonianism is awesome. Okay.
No, it's all about incelism.
That's what I'm talking about, because I'm an incel.
Yes, sir. But how are your grandparents doing so far? Like, doing great?
They're healing up. They're definitely healing up. They're at a rehab center. So they're out of the hospital, which is fantastic, but they are at a rehab center just trying to heal up. And my grandma with the stroke is having a hard time sort of remembering like objects and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So like if you showed her like, they do that thing for to make sure that people don't have strokes where they show you a clock and they're like, what time is it?
Yeah.
And if you of course can't say, then there's something wrong. She's kind of suffering with that right now.
Yeah, I've been praying for them. I had grandparents like very they got very sick. It's like not a good feeling. So I know what you're going through. So yeah.
Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate your prayers.
I just wanted to say what's up, but hey, one thing before I go, just clear up. You gotta clear up the rumors that I'm not black. I don't know why you say I'm black. I'm not black.
Okay, you aren't black, but you are Mexican, bro. You did admit that to me.
Bro, you gotta like bring the receipts out.
Bro,
I'm like totally.
I'll bring the receipts out, man. I'll bring them out.
Bro, bring out the. I'm like a total Aryan right now, bro.
I don't think you are a big dog.
Bro, total Aryan.
I am, dude. Me.
No, bro. Look, you're Jewish, bro.
Bro, I'm Anglo.
Like, no, look. Have you ever heard like this tactic or like in the wild that like some what's it called, parasites? They
Predators.
Used to, like, mimic. Yeah, the predators. They like to like do like these little mimic the prey and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's basically you.
I don't
You're
think so,
trying to
dude.
Mimic a goyim. You're trying to mimic the goyim, saying you're Anglo, but in reality, you're Jewish.
Dude, I don't think that's accurate, bro. I think you're drinking goofy juice. I think you and your hombres are in the parking lot drinking lean right now, and you got a little too much of that purple drink.
Yeah, me and Ryan are like drinking some Mexican beers right now.
Bro, you just admitted it. See? You just admitted to not being Aryan. It's so over, dude.
Mexicans are Aryan, buddy.
ASA, we're like the master race, man.
Orale, for real, homie.
Orale. Well, anyway, G, do you got anything else you want to ask, or I might move on to the next person if that's cool with you?
No, I just wanted to say what's up. I mean,
awesome.
God first wanted me to come on, so I just wanted to say what's up.
Yes, sir, man. Yes, sir.
Yep. How it going, bro? God bless.
God bless, G.
All right, take care.
All right. Isaiah. Allowed to speak, bro.
Third time for charm, I guess.
Yeah, man.
Working now?
I can hear you.
I had to switch to my phone because my laptop was being gay.
What's up?
I wanted to ask, do you have any idea what's up with EO is using the KJV for the New Testament. I got a friend that was telling me about that. I didn't really care to ask what his reasoning was, but
Say that one more time. What about the King James version?
apparently that's what orthos use for the New Testament, and I don't really know why.
Oh yeah, I have no idea either, my friend, to be completely honest with you. I think it's the Old English. I think they like the Old English, but the problem is it doesn't include the Deuterocanon. But the thing is there's also orthos that deny the Deuterocanon too. Like Philaret in his catechism denied the Deuterocanon being inspired scripture, even though the fathers gave witness to that. It's like, what are they doing,
not
man?
really- I don't know. I've got a friend who I was talking to about that, and he was like, for the New Testament, I use a KJV, and then for the Old Testament, I got this like special like Septuagint. I was like, what are you talking about?
Dude, it's ridiculous. Their biblical canon stuff doesn't make any sense. I mean, when Ubi Petrus tried to do a video on it, like William Albrecht and the guys like went back and they basically disproved everything. You know?
Yeah, it seems very just all over the place.
Yeah, it's like odd. It's like what are they up to? Why are they being so like goofy with their Bible translations, you know?
The same guy was trying to tell me that the Latin Vulgate is actually some like corrupted like fourth century Hebrew translation. So it doesn't really count and it sucks.
The Vulgate that St. Jerome translated?
Yeah, he sent me some like I don't know, some link he got his source from, and I didn't read it because I don't care. But
Dude, they just make stuff up. That's the thing. Like they just make it up as they go, you know?
that's what it seemed like.
That's real, man. I mean, they fly by the string of their pants. They make it all up. It's like it just doesn't make any sense. They're so inconsistent in their position.
And it's strange because this dude is like he's usually on most things he's really good. He like does his like he knows what he's talking about. But then there's certain stuff like that where he's just kind of it doesn't seem to make much sense to me.
It doesn't make much sense either. You know? It just it's total like inconsistent goofiness that's like, where is this coming from? Like, why are you using this Bible translation? And they don't really provide any justification for it. They just say, oh, because we think it's the best.
Yeah, that was pretty much how that went. I asked him like, isn't the KJV like really bad in a lot of ways? And he just said no and moved on. He just kind of said no.
Just like an Eastern Orthodox, man. That's just like yikes, dude.
Yeah, from what I can tell, it's pretty much just it.
That's real. Well, awesome, man. Do you have any other question that you wanted to ask?
No, I was just kind of curious if you knew why they used that, but I'm gonna have to do some other.
I'll have to look into it more myself, big dog. I'll have to definitely look into it. Because I know orthos that don't. I think it's just an inconsistency thing. They just can't decide what they want, you know?
That would make sense.
So, and I think also it's the most popular English translation, so I think that's part of it why.
That makes sense.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Kinda, not really, but.
But it like I see what you're saying. It makes sense from a standpoint of like there's no logic behind that. You know, it's just like the bandwagon effect. But
yeah,
based.
Yeah, that was it.
Nice, dude. All right. Well, I'm gonna move on to the next person, brother. God bless you.
Yep, you too.
I don't know why Ryan wants to speak. Ryan, what's up, man? You gotta unmute, big dog.
I'm so autistic. Sorry.
No,
As
it's
a
okay.
Mexican, American boy. He is not Mexican. He is a black man, lobbying as Mexican to get a bill for Latinas.
That makes
Don't
sense.
trust him. He
Dude,
wants
I
all the
won't.
kids, dude.
I won't.
He
I'll.
wants- and he, okay, you go, man.
Oh, I said I'll keep an eye on him. Okay.
And you know how black guys like the fat they like fat women. He wants the fat Latinas and white women, dude. Do not trust him. Do not trust him.
Yeah, that stuff's bad, man.
Yeah, I don't trust him.
I don't trust him as dude. He wants to talk though.
Don't let him speak. Don't let him speak. Do not let him cook. Do not let him cook.
I won't let him cook, bro.
Yeah. How's college life been? Like, how's college been to you and stuff like that?
It's been okay. It's a little hard for me to kind of get through it just because I'm ready to get out. Honestly, I've kind of reached my limit almost.
How long do you have left?
Oh man, that's a good question. I graduate this year with my undergrad, but then I got to go back and do my master's for like an extra like almost half year.
Oh dang! Oh, you gonna get a master's?
Yeah.
How long have you been in college?
4 years. But it'll technically
my-
be like 4.5.
Dude, you're so I'm like retarded. No, I'm not like retarded, but I'm like good academically, but like one of my biggest sins is like laziness. I'm like a lazy bastard, to be honest. And so like in school I do good, right? But like sometimes like in school I get like lazy and like I kind of like the depressing thing and stuff like that sometimes. And like I just drop. No, I don't drop. I mean, it's like my grades just drop and stuff like that.
Oh, I totally get it, man. It happens, and you know it like everyone's got their strengths in terms of like academia and stuff like that. Like I put stuff off to like the last moment, for instance. You know.
Yes, yeah. So, what do you say? Like, high school was more degenerate, degenerate, or is college more degenerate for you?
Honestly, college. I mean, my high school, like people did degen stuff, but like it was still like an evangelical community, so there was still a little bit of like a kind of straight-laced nature to it. But like when I got to college, bro, I was not ready for the degeneracy that like I found. It was weird. You know?
So you know high school, right?
Like
17.
Oh yeah.
And so like my high school, I live like in a wealthy area, right? And like there's more black kids in my school, right? Black kids, they still at ghetto, even like a wealthy like area and stuff like that.
Oh. Oh.
I don't hate them stuff like that, but like today, right? I was walking the halls and stuff like that, and it was like this group of black kids, and like the way, right? And I was like, oh, excuse me and stuff like that. I'm trying to pass you, and they're like, "What is Mexican boy looking at?" I'm like, "Oh my god, dude!" Something it wasn't fan. But it's like it's crazy, man. High school is awful. Like one of my classes, right? It was just because she was like wearing basically like a bra, like at the top and stuff like that, and she was showing her paws and stuff like. I'm like, I don't want to see that, woman. That's disgusting.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, like,
that's some degen stuff.
High school has gotten worse to do and like in my school, like students could do like the worst things ever, but they won't be punished and stuff like that. It's like awful.
Dang. That sucks,
Yeah.
man. I'm sorry you have to go through that. High school can be rough, but you're gonna get through it and be a Chad.
Yeah, it's fine. It's also kind of hard because like I like moved like a few months back, right? And so it's kind of like it's kind of hard to find friends and stuff like that. You know what I mean? I have like friends, but it took me a while. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course, man. It takes a while to
Yeah.
to get those friends back. I get it.
Yeah. Sorry, man. Okay, I'll let somebody else talk now, man.
Awesome. Well, hey, brother, it was great talking to you. I think my computer's starting to crash, so I'm gonna have to end the stream.
Bye, man. Good night. God
Bye,
bless you.
man. God bless. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys, I cannot see the live chat right now. I'm gonna have to probably end the stream because my computer's starting to do that weird thing where it's crashing. So, thank you guys. God bless you for watching tonight.